Good afternoon. Welcome to Maritime Law. Shall begin with the territorial water. The definition of the territorial water on sea, as earlier defined. In our last meeting, we defined the territorial water as waters under the sovereignty of a coastal state extending outward from its baseline. The extent of territorial waters is commonly recognized to be up to 12 nautical miles from the baseline established by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. On the Law of the Sea. This is UNCLOS, as the acronym. There are key points related to water, especially the territorial water. I want to talk about the key points related to the territorial water. You have the baseline, you have the sovereignty, you have the innocent passage, you have the exclusive sovereignty, right? And we have the contiguous zone. We're talking about the key points related to territorial water. Baseline, sovereignty, the innocent passage, the exclusive sovereignty rights, and the contiguous zone. Explanation. Baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured is typically the low water line or along the coast rather. The baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured is typically low water line along the coast. However, certain adjustments may be made in accordance with international law. Second one here is sovereignty. Coastal states exercise full sovereignty over their territorial waters, subject to the right of innocent passage for foreign vessels as recognized by international law. Coastal states, they exercise full sovereignty, full power, full dominance full control over their territorial water, their jurisdiction, subject to the rights of innocent parties for foreign vessels as recognized by the international law. We have the innocent parties. UNCLOS defines the concept of innocent parties, allowing vessels, allowing foreign vessels to traverse a coastal state territorial water under certain conditions. This allows vessels from other countries, vessels from other foreign countries, to pass through a definite route, pass through another country's coastal state under certain conditions, such as maintaining continuous and expeditious passage without prejudicing the peace, without affecting the peace, without causing trouble, without causing headache, good order, or security of the coastal state. This is simple and straightforward. You wish to pass through with ease a definite route outside your jurisdiction, you must, you should maintain faith. You should be of good character. You should be in good order and maintain stability and security of the coastal state. The fourth one here is the exclusive sovereign rights. The coastal states have exclusive sovereign rights to exploit and manage the natural resources within their territorial waters, including fish and other marine resources. The fifth is the contiguous zone. This talks about the fact that beyond the territorial sea, there is a contiguous zone which may extend up to 24 nautical miles from the baseline. In the contiguous zone, coastal states may exercise certain control to prevent or punish infringement of customs, fiscal, immigration, or sanitary laws. What this means is that in the contiguous zone, coastal states may exercise certain control. This control is essential, is necessary, important to prevent or punish infringement of customs, those that go against the rules. The infringement of customs, fiscal, immigration, or sanitary laws. It is important to note that while the standard under UNCLOS is a 12 nautical mile limit for territorial waters, some states may claim different limits based on historical or geographical considerations. Additionally, pelagic states and certain other circumstances, conditions may involve different rules for measuring territorial waters. The UNCLOS adopted in 1982 and enforced in 1994 is the primary international legal framework governing the rights and responsibilities of states in the use of the world's ocean. It provides a comprehensive set of rules addressing various aspects of maritime jurisdiction, including territorial waters, exclusive economic zones, the EEZ, and the IE. To that, we have come to the historical background of territorial water or sea. The historical concept of territorial water has evolved over centuries, reflecting changes in maritime practices, international law, and the recognition of coastal state rights. The development of the concept can be traced through various historical milestones. We have the freedom of the seas doctrine. We have the emergence of territorial waters in the Renaissance. We have the canon short rule. We have the 3 mile limit. We have the Paris Declaration of 1856. We have the codification in the 20th century. We have the United Nations Conference on Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. We have the UNCLOS provision, recognition of exclusive economic zones, the EEZ. Still under the historical background of territorial water or sea, we want to talk about the development of this concept, which can be traced through various historical milestones. Now, the freedom of the sea doctrine, we have the emergence of territorial waters in the Renaissance. We have the canon short rule. We have the 3 mile limit. Paris Declaration of 1856. We have the codification in the 20th century. United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea. The acronym is UNCLOS. We also have the UNCLOS provision. We have the recognition of exclusive EEZ. Talking about the various historical milestones for the territorial water or sea. First one here is the freedom of the seas doctrine. Second is the emergence of territorial waters in the Renaissance. The third is canon short rule. The fourth is 3 mile limit. Fifth, Paris Declaration of 1866. Sixth, codification in the 20th century. Seventh, United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea. Eighth, UNCLOS provision. Nine, recognition of the exclusive economic zone. We don't explain them one after the other. The freedom of the seas doctrine. In medieval times, there was a general understanding that the high seas were open to all for navigation and fishing. This principle, known as the freedom of the sea, was based on the idea that the sea was a common resource for all to use. As the name suggests, freedom of the seas doctrine. This principle, known as freedom of the sea, was based on the idea that the sea was a common resource for all to use. Everyone is entitled to it. Second, here is the emergence of territorial waters in the Renaissance. During the Renaissance, European states began to assert territorial claims, dominance, control over the adjacent waters. This was influenced by the emerging notions of state sovereignty and control. Coastal states sought to extend their authority over certain maritime areas to regulate fishing, to control trade, as well as assert jurisdiction. Third one here is the canon short rule. The canon short rule was a practical rule of thumb that emerged in the 17th century. It suggested that the coastal state should claim sovereignty over waters within the range of its coastal artillery. was a practical rule of thumb that emerged in the 17th century. It suggested that a coastal state would claim sovereignty to claim dominance, control over water within the range of its coastal artillery, coastal line. This varied depending on the range of cannon at the time, but was generally limited. That is why you have that word over waters within the range of its coastal artillery. Any other one beyond that is declared null and void. The 3 mile limit. By the 18th century, a commonly accepted practice was the claim of a 3 mile limit as the extent of territorial water. This limit was often based on the effective range of coastal artillery at the time. The Paris Declaration of 1856. The Paris Declaration on Maritime Law of 1856 was a diplomatic agreement among several major European powers. It recognized a 3 mile limit for territorial waters, codifying the practice in international law. It was agreed upon among several major European powers, countries, nations. The recognition of the 3 mile limit for territorial waters was made to define the practice in international law. Codification in the 20th century. Concept of territorial waters underwent further development in the 20th century. The League of Nations attempted to address the issue, and discussions continued in the aftermath of World War II. United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. The modern legal framework for territorial waters is largely established through the United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, which took place from 1973 to 1982. UNCLOS, which came into force in 1994, set the standard of a 12 nautical mile limit for territorial seas. The UNCLOS provision. The UNCLOS provides the breadth of the territorial state, the rights of coastal states, and the concept of innocent passage. It establishes a comprehensive framework for the maritime zone, including territorial seas, exclusive, exclusive economic zone, the EEZ, and the IE. The recognition of exclusive economic zones (EEZ), in addition to defining territorial seas, UNCLOS introduced the concept of the exclusive economic zone (EEZ) extending up to 200 nautical miles from the baseline. Within the EEZ, coastal states have sovereign rights over natural resources, but must allow for the right of innocent passage and other lawful uses. In addition to defining territorial seas, the UNCLOS, the United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, introduced the concept of EEZ extending up to 200 nautical miles from the baseline. And within the EEZ, coastal states have dominance, control, sovereign, and sovereign rights over natural resources, but must allow for the right of innocent passage and other lawful uses. The historical background of territorial waters reflects the tension between the freedom of the sea and the sovereign rights of coastal states. The evolution of this concept has been shaped by technological advancement, changing geopolitical changing geopolitical reality, and the recognition of the need for an international legal framework to govern maritime jurisdiction. The United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, represents a significant milestone in codifying these principles and establishing a comprehensive regime for the world's oceans. Now, measurement of the territorial sea. Measurement of the territorial sea. Now the baseline. Now the straight baseline. Now the normal and straight baseline combined. Measurement of breadth. You have the low water line. You have the straight baseline criteria. You have the tax and official publication. You have the notification to the international community. The baseline is the first key aspect here. But before that, what do we call the measurement of the territorial sea? The measurement of the territorial sea is based on the concept of a baseline, which is a line along the coast from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured. It covers if the baseline serves as a reference point for determining the limits of a coastal state's territorial sea. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, provides specific rules and guidelines for the measurement of the territorial sea. Here are the key aspects of how the territorial sea is measured. First one talks about the baseline. Second, the straight baseline. The third is the normal baseline and the straight baseline combined. Fourth is the measurement of breadth. You have the low water line. You have the straight baseline criteria. Notification to the international community. Then explain them one after the other. The baseline is a starting point from for measuring the territorial sea. This is the starting point for measuring the territorial sea, and according to UNCLOS, the normal baseline is the low water line along the coast, as marked on large-scale charts officially recognized by the coastal state. The baseline then follows the sinuosities, the sinuosities of the coast, including bays, estuaries, and other coastal indentations. Again, the baseline is the starting point for measuring the territorial state. And according to UNCLOS, the normal baseline is the low water line along the coast, marked on large-scale charts officially recognized by the coastal state. The baseline then follows the sinuosities of the coast, including bays, estuaries, and other coastal indentations. We also have the straight baseline. In certain situations here, the coastal state may draw straight baseline connecting the outmost point of the natural entrance point of bays or closing line, where the coastline is deeply indented. The conditions under which straight baselines may be used are specified in UNCLOS. The normal baseline and the straight baselines combined. The coastal state may use a combination of normal baseline and straight baseline, provided they meet the criteria fixed by UNCLOS. The combination of these baselines helps define the territorial sea in areas with irregular coastline. Measurement of breadth. The breadth of the territorial sea is measured from the baseline. According to UNCLOS, the territorial sea extends up to a limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles from the baseline. This limit represents the maximum extent of the territorial sea under international law. The breadth of the territorial sea measured from the baseline. And according to UNCLOS, the territorial sea extends up to the limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles from the baseline. And this limit represents the maximum extent of the territorial sea under international law. Next is low water line. Low water line is a line on the shore below which the water does not fall during low tide. Here is a practical and consistent reference point for determining baseline. Low water line, the line on the shore below which the water does not fall during low tide. Of course, it went further to say that it is a practical and consistent reference point for determining the baseline. You have the straight baseline criteria. The UNCLOS provides specific criteria for drawing straight baselines, including conditions related to the concavity or concavity of the coast, the length of the coastline, and the proportionality of the area enclosed by the baseline. Straight baselines must not depart to any appreciable extent from the general direction of the coast. Tax and official publication. Coastal states are required to have accurate and up-to-date tax and relevant official publications indicating the baselines they use. These charts are important, pertinent, useful, necessary for providing clear information to mariners and other states about the configuration of the territorial sea. Here, coastal states are required to have accurate and up-to-date charts, pictures, diagrams, and other relevant official publications indicating the baselines they use. These charts are important for providing clear information to mariners and other states about the configuration of the territorial sea. Notification to the international community. Coastal states are required to notify the international community of the baseline they have established. They are required to inform, provide details, updates to notify the international community of the baselines they have established. This information is typically communicated to the International Hydrographic Organization (IHO) and of course is published in official notices to mariners. It is important to note that the measurement and delimitation of the territorial sea can be a source of international dispute. UNCLOS provides mechanisms for the resolution of such disputes, encouraging coastal states to engage in negotiations and, if necessary, seek recourse, seek redress to international arbitration or adjudication. The rules outlined in UNCLOS aim to promote stability and predictability in maritime boundaries and contribute to the peaceful use of the world's oceans. Further problems as regards baseline. Further problems as regards baseline. The determination and use of baseline for measuring the territorial sea can be a source of complexity and potential dispute between coastal states. Some of them will be highlighted below in our subsequent meeting. We shall talk further on the problem as regards baseline. Further problems that can emanate is copious reference to baseline. Thank you all for listening.